Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers here with me, Lord Wraith. I'd like to thank you for coming and joining me. What we're going to do today is we're going to take it a little bit further than where we were yesterday. Unfortunately, um, where we were the other day was um, I had a problem with Twitch, so if you didn't get the full thing, don't worry about it. Um, we didn't get too far beyond where it cut out. So, what we're going to do is jump right in and we're going to carry on from where we were the other day and develop our thing a little bit more. So, like I said, we are in developer, and for those who are joining me for the first time, what we've done is we found a place to land which is on the southern polar or northern polar ice cap, and we've set up the lander. Now we have walls off with spiders on. Uh, we do have drones and close encounters and all that sort of malarkey. We have not set up yet building a base or anything else like that, for the simple reason being that because we've still got the lander, um, we should be generally okay. So first of all, let's find out. There we go. So if you were with me yesterday or the other day, you'll see that what I've done is I've done a bit of mining by hand already. We've got quite a bit of uranium that's going to go through. Now the reason, as I explained yesterday, was because um, I prefer on my singular survival or anything else like that, I prefer to get uranium as quickly as possible, so I will search it out as fast as possible to get my reactor up and running, for the simple reason being that as far as I'm concerned, batteries are alright, but you do have a tendency, if you're on batteries, you could very easily lose um, your power supply, which means that you can't get back into the game, which means you have to start again, another lander. So as you can see, we've got plenty of uranium going. We've got nickel, we've got the gold there, which we found. We've got iron, stone, silicon, and a wee bit of silver, and also some cobalt. So we've got generally all the ores, okay, in a very small quantity, but we do have all the ores that we need if we want to start doing things. So obviously, whilst that's ticking through, as you can see, we're building up nicely on the uranium. But what it does do is allow us to get things rocking and rolling. I've also built up a little bit of ice from before, and I have changed the names of the cargo containers, first to main for making it easier, and then second to ore and tools, just to make that a little bit easier. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start looking at whether or not we want to set up a base here, or whether we want to go and travel somewhere else, set up our base somewhere else. As I said to everybody, my preference is that whenever you get a chance, make sure you've got your hydrogen set up, ready to rock and roll. Now there are a number of schools of thought in regards to things. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of waypoints set up. We've got the nickel, silver, magnesium, silicon and magnesium, uranium rock, gold entrance, gold rock. Over here we've got iron, cobalt, uranium, iron. As I said to those people who saw my previous broadcast, I like to have two ways to get into any place. The first way of getting in is literally through a drop tube or a shaft. So you come here, you go down, and you're straight into the nearest mine, whatever it may be. So in this particular case, we come down and we're straight into the uranium. So if we go around that way, as you can see, boom, we are literally straight into uranium, and it does help being able to get this quite quickly. So as you can see, we've got plenty of uranium knocking around here. We've lined out, we've got on the top as well, and once you've got the uranium, again, easiest thing to do is as soon as you've got yourself your drop or your shaft, your main shaft, dig your way out. Don't bother travelling back up, just in case you're short on the hydrogen. Build a foot tunnel that will lead you straight back to the surface, for the simple reason being, if you do have a problem, if you get killed and you lose your hydrogen bottles and you haven't got any silver to be able to get any straight away, you can still gather up any irons or any ores. You can dig your way down, dig your way out, and it's all set up and ready to rock and roll. So as you can see, we'll just grab a little bit of iron whilst we're here, because iron, as you know, you use an awful lot of, and it's easier if you get an opportunity, grab it whenever you can. My inventory is empty at the moment, so there's no reason why I can't grab it at this moment in time. Now, I do want to say to anybody who's watching this, I am going to be using my own workshop submissions, miners, that sort of stuff. Simple reason being that I'm going to basically try and practice what I preach. So if I've got something that I think is good enough to put on the workshop, I will use it. So there you go, we grab some iron, and as you can see, we've got plenty of way to get it some more. Set yourself up for run. We can grab ice here, and this will take us all the way back to our ship. And as you can see, we did have a little bit of an accident on the way down when we came into land, but it's no big deal. So as you can see, if I do run out of hydrogen, I've got a way to get at what I need to get at. So as you can see, let's drop that with that. Now, one of the first things people say, well, is it better to build a base straight away or what? Now, it depends. It depends on you personally and where you want to build. I personally, I like to build roughly where I land. I like this area. It's a good place to be. Now, because this is a single survival in my own world, I don't have to worry about enemies attacking me. So I can build anywhere I want, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, first thing we need to do is, how do you go about building a base? Well, let's go over here first, and before we do anything, let's grab some some steel plates, because we're going to need them. So let's go and grab some steel plates. 200 should be enough for what we need. And like I said, because we've got wolves, the wolves turned off, we don't have to worry about them. As a result of that, it's a simple case. Now, one of the other things is I have this set for 3 hours on the sunrise and sunset, or the duration day. As you can see, we'll hit it nicely in regards to our solar panels there, and as it climbs around and goes around and sets over the other side, we'll have it nicely over there. So this is an ideal sort of way we want to face. So when you're putting your first block in, don't forget that is the way your base will literally face. So if you want to keep in line with things, simply line up with the way your ship is, and then plonk your first block in. Now, Space Engineers has gone a long way from when the game first developed. Simple reason being that when the game first developed, it was a lot harder to do this. You couldn't put things into the floor like we have here. And if you want to spin it around, we can now do so. So I want to face it with the sun because of my solar panels. I don't want it too close to my mine, but I do want to be close enough. So I will choose something like that. And there you go. That's the start of our base. And we've got it 5. Now, the question becomes, what we're going to put in it. Well, first of all, think about what you want your base to look like. Now, for me, when you're doing this sort of thing, you're in a single survival. You can have it any way you want. There is no hard and fast rule that says you must do it this way, you must do it that way. There's nothing there to put people under pressure that says, right, do it this way. You build your base according to what you want. Now, if you have wolves attacking, or you've got spiders or anything else like that, you've got to do a different form. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what we're going to have in our base. Now, the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a floor. So if we come along, now don't forget, your floor is your most important thing. Now, are you going to build underground? That's the other thing. Are you going to create landing platforms? Are you going to have stuff that way? So what do I mean by that? Very simple. This is our top, and we're doing what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 blocks long. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 blocks long, 9 blocks wide. The beauty about this is because we're just laying a floor out, we don't have to worry too much about things. As in, if we miss a step or we put one in the wrong place. So there you go. So now, should you just use your hydrogen? You can use your hydrogen to go up, but don't forget, if you're in one of the desert places, hydrogen will mean you have to go off and find ice. So I would say get into the habit of trying not to use your jetpack when you're on planets. It's a good thing to do, especially if you're in a single survival world on a multiplayer and you're in some place and you don't have all this ice around you, and as a result of that, because you don't have the ice, you're limited on how much hydrogen you've got available to you. So try and just get used to the idea of not using your jetpack when you're going to build. So here's the question: what we're going to build? Well, what I want to try and do is, as I said in my introduction, is teach people how to get off planet as quickly as possible. Now, in order to do that, I don't want to use too many resources to get up. Now, do I want to leave a base here, or do I want to break my ship down, use that, and get into space and start building my bases up there? Well, that again is a choice. I do prefer to have a little bit of a base, somewhere I can come back and land on if I need to be. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put together a shuttle which I know can be used in this scenario, that will carry has enough to get me up into space and carry what I need. So what do I need? I need first of all a projector. So we go along, and I think I have it set up already. If not, we can grab one. Nope. Right, so let's set up a projector, shall we? So we need, let's use that one, and our projector. So now I'm not going to teach you how to use projectors, because by now everybody should have a good idea of how projectors are used. So the question is, how far? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can put it into the ground like that. Now, considering we got the projector, we now know we're going to need some way of powering this. Now we can either put a battery in, which is going to have to be a reliant upon thing, or we can put a reactor in. Now I prefer reactors. That's just me. Plus, if it does run out, it's not going to be a problem for me. So my reactor's there. When we get the projector in, then we'll be able to go from there. So now we've got that, let's start building these up, shall we? And don't forget, like I said, I've got the uranium going already, so I should be able to grab a little bit for this and get this in. So we need construction components. Right, so once we got that, let's run back to the ship and grab what we need. Now, one of the things you should do is, when you've got the chance, now that we're back here, let's get some stone going. And we want some silver, so that's silicon, silver. Now the reason we want that is because we're going to need silver and stone for our reactor. Now, as you remember, my reactor is off, or rather my assembler is off. Let's turn that on. And that should produce everything I need. So what we show by. Silver. So let's wait for the silver to go through. We've got almost on the stone. And the silver should go through. Now I'm probably going to need some more silver for that. But in the meantime, whilst that's cooking, we can grab some metal grid. What we actually need. So let's take what we've got there and see what we're short by in a minute. So like that, we just need the reactor components, and we've got everything we need on that one, which is good. Right. So now people will say, well, why don't you use a second refinery? Well, we've got a ship full of parts here that if we're going to break them down and use them, we may as well. going to need some more silver. So that's going to be our next hunt, is silver. Now I do know there's a silver mine. We'll set that whilst we're waiting. If you're probably wondering what I've just done there, let me just show you. On the refinery, whilst we're away, rather than chew through all these, we're going to keep plugging away at the uranium, because that's going to be the most important thing. Because don't forget, uranium's the main power supply. Even though we are using batteries, uranium will be our main power supply. So what we need right now is to go away and find some silver. So let's go and do that, shall we? So whilst that's plugging away, now I do know I had some silver set up. There we go, there's a gold entrance over there. As I said before, one of the things you can be pretty much sure of, gold and silver are pretty much located close together. They're generally in the same area. Not always, but 9 times out of 10 they are located together. So let's go and see if we can find some silver. Now, as I said to you before, besides the gold, if you go further down, you should start encountering. Take your jetpack off, crouch down. You should start to encounter silver further down. Not always so, but you should. So let's find out if we've got some silver down here. Now, silver has a tendency to be a little bit deeper than gold. So if we go beyond the gold detection area, we know we have to go and find somewhere else. Right, so there is no silver down here, which is fine. So jetpack on. Let's get back up to the top there. Let's see. What else we've got around here? One of the things we can do is just drop the stone. Nope. Right. Okay, so let's go and see. We know there's silver over there. Let's jump up. Let's see what other patches we've got around here. I don't know whether we'd be lucky to have two together. Silicon, magnesium. Again, the same thing. Silicon, magnesium. You have a tendency to find both together, and also uranium. It's magnesium. So let's do another fly up. There's another patch over there. Don't forget, if we don't find it over here, we can always go. It's about 5 kilometers to the other side, 5.5, but we do know it's there. What's here? I'll wait for... Now, this is just my computer, so just bear with me. So let's crash down. Let's see what we've got down here. Might be something, might be nothing. We don't know. We're right in the patch, whatever it is. There's gold again. So will we be lucky enough to find silver with this patch? We'll go down to gold, go through it. There's the gold. Like I said, if you will we be lucky enough? Up to 30 meters now. It would be unusual to find two patches of gold with no silver. That is a very unusual thing to do. I will say that. But we'll keep going. Hopefully we might encounter the silver further down. Don't forget, your drill only has a limited range, so it's not necessarily... it could be a lot further deeper than the 50 meters that we were thinking. Just keep your eyes open for any signs of other ores that may be around. Right, so I think that should now be sufficient. We've found nothing, so again let's go back up. There's our gold. Like I said, it is a bit of an unusual thing to find gold and no silver. That is an unusual item. Let's try here. Now I will show you that you can build certain machinery, my miners especially, which there's gold again. Once you've built the miners, believe you me, your mining will just go through the roof. Now there are a couple of schools of thought. Is it better to mine with a small ship, or is it better to mine with the larger ships? Now I do have both. I do prefer to mine with a larger ship for the simple reason being that once you get going, it's so easy. Which is one of the reasons why I designed something like the Remora. It's the smallest large ship miner I could create. So it basically gives you all the advantage of having a large ship, which means that you could mine straight away using large ship materials without without having to worry about short. You could basically mine full speed ahead. So again, we'll go to the limits of the gold just to see if we have any silver down this way. We're at 24. And that's about it. Right, so no silver with this gold patch either, which, like I said, is a little bit unusual, but not too much. So one of the things we'll just do here is, whilst we're here, we'll put a new from current position, and again we'll create a gold entrance. And again, the reason I do that, very simple, is because that's by marking it up like that, if we need to, we can always come back later on. So there's another area here. It's probably all part of the same. Now, question is, will it stand? Is it all gold, or is there a possibility that we've also got some silver here? Like I said, it is unusual not to find silver with gold. It's very, very unusual. Crouch in is what we want. I generally haven't come across that before. It may be, like I said, it could be simply that I am not going deep enough. That could be the biggest thing. But we'll carry on drilling our way down and see what we find. Ah, there we go, silver. So now we have our silver. So we'll just dig down now. So there you are, a little bit of perseverance and we found our silver. Now, the question is it better to keep doing this, having it running like this, or is it better simply to do that and do the one shots? I think having the one shot, just hitting it once in a while, one at a time, is a lot better. But that is my opinion. Again, if you don't believe so, there's no hard and fast rule that says you have to do it that particular way. I do it because that's the way I prefer. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Some people prefer to keep hammering at it until its job's done. But I think one shot generally yields a lot more, or at one time. Right. again, we can now start expanding this out. And there we go. So what we need to do is now we've got a silver mine going. Get to the top, and the same as we did with everything else, just peek over the top and then set a GPS, and that will now be our silver entrance. Now I'm making it prominent because at the moment that's the one we need. So once we've done that, we can head over to our base. Right. So there we go. We found our silver. It's close enough. It's only going to be about 2 clicks away, and that will mean it's close enough for us to do the job with. About 2.5 clicks, which means flying there and back will be easy. Oh well, 3 clicks. It's not too bad. So there you go. We're on. Now, since we know that we've got plenty of uranium going at the moment, we need this silver. So we're going to take the silver that we've got and we're going to dump it straight at the front. Put stone next to it, and that will start creating the bits and pieces that we need for that. So what am I going to be using in regards to the ship? So let's have a look at what we've got. So if I do the F10, and what I'm going to decide to use is, I have several different ships, but I think the one I'm currently building in my single survival for myself is the Harrier. So if we go to the Harrier, as you can see, I've got two versions. One is the Harrier in development, which is what we're in now, and I also have a Harrier stable. I transferred the files across offline, and it works. So there's a Harrier stable, and it's the same Harrier in development. Now the other one is now the reason I'm choosing the Harrier is because the Harrier has the ability to extend and have its own jump engines. Now the other one I've put up recently was let me see if I can remember it. Shuttle. That's the shuttle jump carrier. Boom cargo shuttle. That's the other one. Now that has no refineries or anything else like that. So that's one of the reasons why I don't use it. Now these are all small. They are cargo shuttle. Now the cargo shuttle is literally what it says. It's just for hauling shuttle. This is a small one again. So like I said, the reason why I'm going to go with a Harrier is because at the end of the day, these are just literally cargo shuttles, except for obviously the combat one. So for me, if I was if I'd established a base and I wanted to get my stuff up into space, then I'd build a cargo shuttle. But since I've already got everything, I'm not going to develop a base here. I'm going to go for the Harrier, which is the Harrier, which is that one. Okay, so that's the one we're going to build. So as soon as we get the power, so we get everything completed. So we're at 41. Let's again change out that. Now again, one of the things I will do is the Harrier has its own medical bay. Once I've built a new medical bay in the Harrier, I will probably dismantle this one. Same will go for the refineries and stuff like that. So we're burning through the silver here now, trying to Okay, now on the Harrier I know I'm going to need more, so what should I build first? Well, how about we build the Remora, the miner. Now that miner will literally allow us to really build fast. So if we want to build at a very high rate, we'll need more refineries and we'll need more assemblers. But Remora will allow us to build a very it's a small miner on a large grid, which will allow us to do things very quickly. So, and I can show you that, in fact, if we do that, and we go. Now, this is the Remora. The Remora is, like I said, it's a small grid. It has multiple reactors and batteries and stuff, but it's a very simple design. Very simple design. But it will allow you to do stuff very quickly. So we come out of that. Let's have another look, see how we're doing on the reactor. We're almost there. And like I say, one of the big things you should keep an eye out for is your the power pack. It's discharging at the moment, which is great. That means it's helping out. It's going to be fully depleted in 10 hours. But we've got our solar panels. Now currently right now they're not producing anything. Let's hope that eventually it should be producing soon with the lights coming up, the sun coming up. Yeah, the sun's there, so they should be producing. Grab some energy whilst we're here. So whilst that's doing that, let's go and grab some more silver, shall we? And again, now we know where we are. There we are, silver entrance. Won't take too long to get the rest of the silver. So as you can see, all of this is on the same patch, which surprises me considering, as you can see, there's the first hole in the gold, and that's the second. But silver has a tendency, gold and silver has a tendency to be together. The fact that we didn't find the silver straight with the gold, but the patch is very large, so that means that obviously they've separated out on this particular thing the two together. So here we can now start chipping away, making the entrance bigger. So now we've done that, let's grab some more silver. And don't forget, because we're producing reactor components, we're going to need more stone still. So again, if you do end up with some stone, don't worry about it too much, you're going to need it. below the entrance. There we go. There we are. And once again we can head towards home. And again we got the silver. Iron. So that's what we're short of now, which is fine. Let's put this here, put the stone there, and we're now short of iron, so let's run some iron through. There we go. We've now got enough. And again, once again, like I said, as soon as you get the opportunity, change your bottle out. There you go. Now the one thing we need to grab very quickly is some uranium. So remember, we can't take too much on this one, so transfer just a small amount. Take the 6, which will leave the rest. Allow that to continue. And there we go. So put that in there. And now let's go to the projector, blueprints, and as I said, we're going to go for the remora first to so let's back up first. This is the first version, so it's the remora 2. Okay, so again, now how can I tell that? Well, there are 4 extra drills there, so let's get this remora in place. So first thing to do, come out of it like that and back yourself off. There we go. So okay, projector. Let's I don't want to there we go. come up 1. Okay, so -3. Come up 1 block. Good. Right, let's get back into our cells, and we're going to get some steel. Now you might be wondering why I've come up 1 block, and the reason for that is very simple. I've discovered a tendency with the way they design things just recently. I've discovered a tendency with the game to, how can I put it, make all blocks go into the ground, and then suddenly you've gone to go and do something, and it's bang. Second you try to cut it away, because it's touching like that, it goes bang. And when that happens, believe you me, it's a pain in the proverbial. So there we go. And if you do it that way, when you have your engine set to go, it shouldn't be a problem. So now, if you look, you can see it's mainly engines on this one with drills. A couple of there's our ore detector, which we can pull out of the ship if we want it. There's two gyros there, and I think there may be 2 on the other side. Nope. But the biggest thing is, if we look, our biggest costs are going to be the 5 reactors, the small cargo containers, we've got the batteries here on this side, and then obviously the other big thing is going to be the connectors, because we've got this one here, and then these 4 here, which are used to eject the stone out of. And then obviously after that, the next biggest cost will be the drills. So as you can see, it can become a little bit expensive in regards to various bits and pieces, but it is, like I said, the smallest one that I think is possible to make in regards to this game. I do know you could probably go down to 1, but you're still going to have to put your engines in to lift it and carry it and stuff like that. So now the question would be is, why do this? Why not just go for a large or a large small ship or small grid miner? You'll end up using less parts. Yes, that's true, but you can end up taking more time to do it. So let's go into here. We've got various conveyors here, our tubes there, conveyor tubes there, and as you can see, we've got multiple batteries here. 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and then another 2 on the outside, so 6 batteries. So it is heavy in the batteries, but again the same thing can be applied. Now you can add a mod in that allows you to recover the batteries from here. I wouldn't bother. I don't like the idea that you can't recycle batteries, but I try to play the game as vanilla as possible. So there you go. What I'm going to do now is, rather than make you watch me build this thing from the ground upwards, I'm going to do this all off her now, and because I'm going to have to gather the ores that are necessary to construct it, because obviously, like I said, we're up to certain things at the moment. We've rebuilt some of the missing stuff there, but we are going to need a lot of materials, not least of which we're going to need a lot of iron for this, some nickel, nickel, cobalt, and so on and so forth. So For the time being, I'm going to go off her. I'm going to build this, do a bit of mining and whatnot to get the materials, and then I'm going to come back after I've built it and I'll show you how this particular miner, as being the smallest one, is also one of the most effective. Okay folks, so take care of yourself and I'll speak to you soon.